Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horsemen Hangout. I have returned after 2 long weeks away from the show. It is myself, Justin. I was in Las Vegas. I was at a wedding. I was at a concert. But I wanted to thank my brother for hosting the past 2 weeks. I think he did a good job. I caught up on all the episodes recently, and I think he did a pretty swell job there. So, anyway, we have the Horsemen here with us, and we have a special guest. As you can see, our special guest right there is Mr. Sturgeon. There. Wait, why can't I click on you? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's a little rusty, guys. Forgive him.
What I think happened is I think my brother messed up my controls here. Because what's happening is whoever's talking, I think it goes to. Somebody talk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Horsemen Hangout.
There you go. Yeah. Rick, you must have messed up one of my settings. Did you touch my settings?
No, I did not. I didn't touch anything.
All right. Well, we'll just go with this. Whoever talks, talks. So, Mr. Sturgeon, how's it going?
Going well. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Mr. Lane, how you doing?
Well, welcome back, Justin. Glad to see the host on the show back once again.
There you go. And Mr. Roo TV?
Hey, I got a Nutri-Grain bar. These are damn good. I hope this can be the sponsor this week because they're damn good. Nutri-Grain Harvest Bars.
There you go. And Mr. Z, who's very seething that the Sixers did not get the first pick in the NBA draft tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little bitter about that, but the show must go on.
The show must go on. That is correct. As I open this app here. Okay. First off, I want to say I did not see all of Raw last night from England. I caught bits and pieces on the DVR. I heard about it. Seemed like it was pretty uneventful. Let's start off with some of that chatter, though, as we often do talk wrestling here. I guess I saw the card for Payback so far, and it's basically is what it says. It's Payback. Are you guys tired of these feuds? We get John Cena again versus Bray Wyatt, and we get Shield versus Evolution, and we get Bad News Barrett and RVD, which is kind of a newer one, but still it has been going on for a little bit. Are you tired? Are these feuds stale yet? I'll start with Mr. Z.
I think it depends on the feud. I really like the Wyatt family, and I think I like, their promos, obviously. I like their whole idea of the Wyatt family, and I want them to progress within the WWE, but I feel like anytime you work with Cena for a long time, and Cena's a good worker, don't get me wrong, but it tends to get stale. So I'm a little tired of that. Because there's not much to Cena's character that can really change from month to month. So I'm kind of tired of that. But as far as the Shield and Evolution, as long as they're putting on good matches, which they have been, in my opinion, they've been good matches. And I really like the elimination tag. It's one of my favorite matches, just like as an aside. But as long as the matches are good, then I'm okay with it. That's got to end probably at Payback because Batista's leaving. So as long as the matches are good, I guess I'm okay with it.
Right, and I thought Batista was leaving before, but it's surprising me that he stuck around this long. But I am enjoying all of the Wyatt stuff. I mean, the Wyatts have not gone stale. I'm glad to see Triple H on television. I don't know how long he'll be on for, but as long as he kind of fills in that executive role that Vince McMahon once held. So I don't really miss Vinnie Mac on TV as much as Triple H is there. But, Rue, let's get your thoughts on this topic.
I've been enjoying Raw immensely. Now, I didn't see too much of it last week. I guess immensely is a bit of a strong word. But I think the reason being is I think this is the first time that the characters actually are intriguing. I mean, Bray Wyatt's very intriguing. There's a character that could definitely pass for grade A in the Attitude Era. In my opinion, the heyday. And then you have some new blood coming in. Of course, the Shield has been there for about a year and a half, and they've been solid. And then you have the party animal. What's his name? Derek Rose or
Adam Rose.
Adam Rose, yeah. I don't know. I get it. I get the angle, and I like it. I like his charisma. A lot of people don't like it. I get it. In terms of their overall TV, they still need to be more consistent. But with 3 hours, it's very difficult to maintain an audience and maintain a solid show for 3 hours. So I think overall, I'm not too bored with it compared to years past where I've been completely bored with it and turned it off completely. No, they're doing fine. They're fine. I'll watch the pay-per-view.
It looks like you got a cat. The Sweet Pea and Biscotti are fighting. Are they friendly?
I think they're just playing right now.
Okay. Mr. Lane, what were your thoughts on Raw if you caught any of it and Payback?
Well, honestly, I didn't catch Raw, to be honest with y'all. The only notable result that I did read in the spoilers, I'll admit I'd read them, was the ladies champion. I think Paige is her name. She lost to Alicia Fox, and I would like to, as far as I'm concerned, Stephanie McMahon did say something about potentially stripping Daniel Bryan of the championship, which remains to be seen.
Hey,
We'll see how that goes, next week.
Scotty,
So I want to see how this WWE World Heavyweight Championship situation is going to play itself out, because you had Daniel Bryan that had neck surgery last week. Really, he said it was his first surgery in his career. I mean, he's been wrestling, I think, 15 years, something like that. His first time ever he's ever had surgery. I mean, if y'all can believe that, but I mean, that's unbelievable when he has a lot of surgery, he had his surgery like right on the back of his neck. I think it was like neck surgery. So I want to see, like I discussed last week, is Justin wasn't here, but I think they should do a tournament maybe for the championship if they strip Daniel Bryan. We don't know if they're going to strip him yet. It's still up in the air at this point.
Let me jump in there and say one of the topics we were talking about was the vacant title. It's still up in the air as if it's actually going to be vacant and they're going to put it in somebody's hands, or if Daniel Bryan's going to keep it until he comes back. Mr. Sturgeon, what are your thoughts on that? And do you think it should become vacant and they should work it as a storyline, or just keep it in his hands?
I don't think they're going to strip him. I've heard he's going to be out only about 2 months. So I'd expect some huge angle next week whenever, Stephanie's going to call him out to forfeit the title. I don't think he does. I think, initially the plan was for him to face Kane in a buried alive match at Payback. So I think, the company's doing the best they can with, the elimination tag, as Zorzi mentioned, and also the Bray Wyatt, John Cena last man standing match for Payback. But with Bryan, I mean, I don't think they're going to strip him, and we'll have to see what that angle entails next Monday.
Yeah, and a good point, because I believe the next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, June 29th.
Yeah, so I think they can get away with not having a belt, a WWE Heavyweight Championship belt at that pay-per-view, because the Money in the Bank is what really sells that pay-per-view. So it kind of works out perfectly for them. As we see, Mr. Lane, I still don't know why it can't click through to you guys, but I think it's working. Whoever's talking gets the camera on them. So, okay. Our next topic, I'm going to veer. Actually, let me throw in a fun question, because we've been a lot of serious topics. I caught on my Twitter feed a story that the one, the only Miss Sandra Bullock, actress extraordinaire, actually did a commencement speech at a high school, surprised the high school in New Orleans. So, I wanted to ask the panel, if you could have one star, WWE, movies, music, come to your commencement speech and deliver a speech to you, who would that be? I'll start with Mr. Z.
Mine is easy. I don't think he would be. I don't know if he would be willing to do it as much as I would want to see him do it, because I know he's kind of gets nervous doing public speaking, but easily, hands down, Larry David.
That would be classic.
Yeah, and for those who don't know Larry David, he's the one of the guys behind Seinfeld, the head writer of Seinfeld for many years, and also stars in Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you've never watched the show, check it out on HBO. It hasn't had a new season in a couple years, but if you have HBO Go, I suggest checking it out. Or I also have all the seasons on DVDs if you're local and want to borrow them. But yeah, Larry David is one of my favorite people in the world. But I would love to see him give a commencement speech. If not Larry David, then Howard Stern.
Ooh, Howard Stern. Okay. Team Howard. Rue, who's your commencement speaker? Bud? Pal?
For high school?
Yeah.
High school commencement speaker. I would have to go with the 1986 version of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, for 2 reasons. Next.
You got to give us your 2 reasons.
It's self-explanatory.
Did she have? I think I got it. I don't know who it is, but can anybody confirm who Elvira is?
Wait a minute. She's that, oh boy. That vampire, I think it is.
Gangrel?
Google search. Wait, Mr. Lane. Google search Elvira. Bring up a picture. Let's see who she is for the viewers at home that don't remember the '80s star who actually appeared at WrestleMania 2.
Yeah, because I was watching some old WrestleMania footage earlier. So let me see.
WrestleMania 2.
Hold on a minute.
By the way, WrestleMania 2 sucked. Bundy and Hogan was awful.
Oh, terrible.
Well, they had WrestleMania in 3 different cities. What do you expect at the time?
We're just saying that because he has heat with King Kong Bundy and he hates him because King Kong Bundy blocked him on Twitter, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the match sucked anyway.
Okay.
My cat was trying to climb up the window.
Mr. Lane, who's your commencement speaker?
Oh, that's a good question. That is an excellent one. I don't know. That's a good one.
Living or deceased?
Well, I would probably say see, I was gonna say maybe it would be a wrestling related. I would probably say Stephanie McMahon. Maybe that's probably the only name I could think of. Let me see something.
Well, I think it was approximately 2 weeks ago when we got Steven, our former, off again panelist, Steven, a.k.a. Triple H Guy 2004 on Twitter, to give us his candid thoughts on Stephanie McMahon. And does anyone remember what Steven said? It was 2 words.
I forget. I forget offhand.
Well, I'll spell it out. HUGETITS !
Oh, well. Hold on, I'm trying to look up the Myra character for you. I'm trying to figure. I'm on Chrome right now, and I'm trying to figure out how I could show this to y'all here.
Bring it up on the iPad if you could.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me do that. Great idea there, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
Hold on. Let me see if I could get a photo of her here. All right, give me 1 second, guys.
While we wait,
second.
Mr. Sturgeon, who's your commencement speaker?
God, there's a time I would have said probably Conan O'Brien, but I think that's changed. I'd probably go Louis C.K.
There we go.
Good one. Did you catch Louis on last night?
Oh, great episodes. He's doing a 6-part story right now, The Elevator, and I've been really enjoying it to this point. What are you guys thinking about it?
I thought it was a very, very good episode. I've noticed a trend with the Louis C.K. seasons. Each season feels different than the next. And this one has, I guess you could say, more of a dramatic spin to it. But the show's pretty much always been powerful comedy. But this year especially, it looks like he's much more story-driven this year, which isn't a bad thing. It's still an awesome show, and I still love it. Favorite show on TV.
I did laugh pretty hard when I saw Robert Kelly's stomach.
Get a bigger towel, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Well, while Mr. Lane looks for that.
Hold on. I got it here.
All right.
Now, wait, that is Cassandra Peterson. I could tell by the red hair. The actress who plays Elvira, past her prime. Look up Elvira 1984. That is the MILF version, but we want the classic.
Well, hold on, man. Hold on. I'll get you a version of her. Wait a minute.
All right. We'll wait. We have dead air right now.
All right, here we go. Well, here's a photo from Google search. That sounds more like Elvira there,
There
Ryan.
we go. And the assets are whited out there, so we can't even see.
You all can see that a little bit? Let me just
A little closer, a little bit closer.
All right.
Point to what
Voluptuous.
Well, anyway, you can't
There it
really.
is.
Slightly. Okay. All right. What kind of show is this?
All right. Let's move on. I know Z can't stay on the whole time, so I wanted to get to 2 more things, Z, and then we'll let you go. But I wanted to get into a big topic that's been coming up a lot this week with Major League Baseball. We love baseball here. It is alarming the amount of young pitchers in Major League Baseball that are receiving Tommy John surgery as a result of damage to their elbows. Jose Fernandez, for one, on the Marlins, probably one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in baseball, is going to have Tommy John. We just heard today that Cliff Lee got an MRI on his elbow today after having some discomfort over the past few weeks. Hopefully that's not going to require Tommy John. But I wanted to bring this up because Yeah, but MLB Commissioner Bud Selig just commissioned Dr. Sakati, who's the Phillies team physician, to do a study on this. I think most of us here play Little League baseball or some sort of baseball. What do you think the issue is with these players? Why is this happening, and why didn't it happen in the past? And what can we do to prevent these young kids from blowing out their arms and ruining their careers? Because it's also an issue of baseball has guaranteed contracts. You're giving pitchers 6- and 7-year deals now. They're blowing their arms out in the first year of the deal. So something's got to give here. Anthony, what are your thoughts?
You know, every time they try and pinpoint a reason behind an injury epidemic, whether it be Tommy John or whether it be any type of other injury that's has a recurring pattern in the past, there's never always a definitive answer. I think as far as Tommy John goes, is as time goes on through baseball, you have, starting with Little League, you have leagues that go year-round. You're pitching around the clock, and not around the clock, but I mean 12 months out of the year, you're pitching. You're not giving your body a break to recover, and you're progressing through Little League, through high school. If you're drafted, you get right into the pros, high school to college, putting a lot of pressure on your arm, also building up muscle that eventually, as you work, something's got to give, and your elbow's going to go, and you're going to have Tommy John surgery. Most people, I feel, I've heard anyway, and again, I'm not a doctor by any means, but people are in favor of getting Tommy John surgery at a much younger age now, because you do come back with extra miles per hour on the fastball. So if you were throwing 92 as a 17-year-old, you get Tommy John, and as a 19-year-old, you're coming back and throwing 96, 97, your stock of going to the major leagues rises. I don't know why it's affecting more players now, young and old. I hope Cliff Lee, does much. I hope his injury isn't Tommy John surgery, but it really is alarming, and it's sad to see that it's affecting a lot of talented young players throughout baseball.
Yeah, I don't know, Rue, if you wanted to jump in, or Mr. Lane. I know we're big baseball fans here. Mr. Lane, what are your thoughts on this Tommy John stuff?
Well, as far as the Tommy John situation is concerned, it's completely awful, and I'm just disgusted about it. To be honest, I mean, it's awful. It's awful for baseball. I mean, Jose Fernandez, you hit it right on the head there, Justin, with the with Jose Fernandez. I mean, he was one of the premier pitchers in baseball. I mean, you just watch the guy pitch. The guy won Rookie of the Year last year, and he was an excellent pitcher. But now, him getting Tommy John potentially. You also have, I heard, Cliff Lee now. I mean, that's awful. It's awful news. I mean, it's terrible news for baseball, period. And you know what? I think there's two overrated factors in this. One, I think, is the pitch count. I think the pitch count is overrated. I think pitchers should be allowed to pitch and see if they can work themselves out of damage control, see if they can work themselves out of it. If you walk hitters, see if you can get out of it with minimum damage. And then number two, I think this has been an epidemic for like the last, I'll say, 15 years, maybe longer. The radar gun. The radar gun, I think, is overrated. I'm sorry to say. I mean, when you watch baseball in years past, really ever since the Fox network took over, took over for the baseball rights back in '96. That's when the baseball audience saw the radar gun. Really, I mean, forget the video game baseball of the early '90s and the '80s. It was when Fox Baseball really brought up the radar gun, and I just think it's awful. It's just straight up awful. I mean, that's basically all I have to say. I'll pass it over to Ryan. What do you think there, buddy?
You got a leg thing, what it looks like.
I'm curious, Tommy John himself, how do you think he feels knowing that his legacy is less a baseball pitcher and more a surgery name? Does that affect him? I mean, does anybody even remember Tommy John as a legendary pitcher?
Yeah, he pitched left-handed, actually, and I think he pitched for about 15, maybe 20 years. I forget exactly, but he was a left-handed pitcher. I know he pitched for the Dodgers. He pitched for the Yankees back in the old days, but it's awful for the sport. It's completely awful. I mean, I mean, it's embarrassing for baseball. I mean, I want to see quality competition. I want to see quality competition in baseball where, I mean, another pitcher that y'all forgot to bring up, he had Tommy John beyond the two Braves that I have that happened in spring training, Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey.
Yeah,
That's another guy that has Tommy John surgery. I believe he started in the All-Star game for the National League last year. And it's terrible. Absolutely, positively terrible. It's awful.
Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
I'm jumping in right now because it is time for trivia. But we have a special edition of trivia. If you can hear that, that is the Family Feud theme song.
Oh, boy.
Tonight, we have a Family Feud 2-on-2 tournament. I am your host, Ray Coombs. No, I'm not Ray Coombs, but together, little Family Feud tournament here. We're gonna have one horseman versus another horseman. Then later in the show, we'll do 1 versus 1, and then the winner will play each other next week. So I have compiled some questions here, and I have selected, since Z has to go, Z will go first, and he will face our special guest, Mr. Sturgeon. So you guys all know the rules of Family Feud.
Yeah, but we have to buzz in. How are we going to buzz?
No, I'm sorry, I should have corrected. This is Fast Money. We will be playing Fast Money style. I have surveyed 100 people, and this is Fast Money style. One of you will have to leave the show, and then I will bring you back on when we get to you. So I'm going to ask John, could you please, you know how to leave the show, and then I'll invite you back on once we're through with Anthony's questions. I'll ask you the same ones. All right?
A leaf call.
Yeah, he's gone.
All right, he's gone.
So, Ant, I am going to put time on the clock. You're going to get 20 seconds. Hopefully John's not watching. You're going to get 20 seconds, and I'm going to give you 4 questions, and you're going to give me your best answer for these. Do you understand those rules, Mr. Z?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. And later in the show, we will have Mr. Lane versus Mr. Rue. The winner, of course, will face the champion here. So, all right. 20 seconds on the clock. Let me get my stopwatch out here. All right, and start. Name something specific that teenagers do that make their parents very angry.
Play on their phone.
Name something you might find on a person's arm.
Tattoo.
Name something that's hard to guess about a woman you're just meeting.
Age.
All right, and name a food that often comes free with your meal at a restaurant.
Bread.
There you go. There's 4. That's time. All right. We will let you know how you did in a second. What was your answer? Name something specific that teenagers do that make their parents very angry. You said talk on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got the other.
I can stay on because I already answered the question.
Yes, you can. All right. Now I will bring Mr. Sturgeon back for his round here. All right. There he is. We'll get him back on. Hope you guys are liking this special edition of trivia. As we wait, let's play some Family Feud Sounders. Mr. Sturgeon, you back?
Hey.
All right. Mr. Z has gone. It is now your turn to play Family Feud. I will give you 20 seconds on the clock. I have 4 questions. Answer to the best of your ability.
Now, you can't, like, if he repeats it, you have to tell him you have to guess something else, right?
No, he can guess the same thing that you guessed. It's the same points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Ready, John?
Yes.
Okay. 20 seconds on the clock. Name something specific that teenagers do that make their parents very angry.
Smoke.
Name a food that often comes free with your meal at a restaurant.
Fries.
Name something that's hard to guess about a woman you're just meeting.
Age.
And name something you might find on a person's arm.
Scar.
All right, time. Scar. Okay. Now we'll go over the answers here. I have to add these up, so I will reveal the answers right now. First question: name something specific that teenagers do that make their parents very angry. Number one answer was smoke, and John got that with 32. Talk on the phone was not on the top 5. We had lie as number 2, drink number 3, break curfew number 4, talk back number 5. Name something that's hard to guess about a woman you're just meeting. Number one answer, age. Both of you guessed age, and that was 52 points. The other ones were personality, name, and then weight. All right, name a food that often comes free with your meal at a restaurant. The number one answer was bread. That was Mr. Zorzi. Got that one for 57 points. Number 2, salad at 19 points. Number 3 was French fries at 18, what Mr. Sturgeon said. And number 4 was soup at 5. The last one was name something you might find on a person's arm. Number one answer was tattoo. Anthony got that, and that was 43 points for tattoo. John said scar. That was not on the list. 2 was hair, 3 was watch, 4 was bracelet, 5 was cast, 6 was freckle. So there you go. Let's get back into some chat here as I add these up. Let's see what else is on the list here. Rue, come on, you're the guest host. Pick something as I do this.
Well, before I leave, can we do Promo Mania? I want to watch Promo Mania.
Oh, I forgot about Promo Mania. Rue, run Promo Mania as I do this.
Run Promo Mania. Well, I guess since Sturgeon is not with us very often, I think it should be Sturgeon against someone. I went last week, so I'm going to say Sturgeon and against either Mr. Lane or Mr. Z, whoever would like to volunteer.
Does Sturgeon know what Promo Mania is?
No.
Even better. Good.
All right, so, Mr. Sturgeon, Promo Mania is basically a concept I invented where you pick a wrestler, your opponent picks a wrestler, and you basically cut a promo on the other person in the wrestler persona. Last week I did Macho Man Randy Savage, and Mr. Lane was Jerry the King Lawler. Went pretty well, and weeks past it's gone well, fairly well. So what you need to do is brainstorm, improv right now, think of a character, and then whoever your opponent is going to be will think of a character, and then either myself or Mr. Justin will judge and see who cut the better promo on each other. So that's basically it. So who will be the challenge?
Guys, I'm going to sit this one out. I have this big exam tomorrow. I have too much stuff floating around in my brain to think of Promo Mania.
Well, I guess that narrows it down to either myself or Mr. Lane. But I think Mr. Lane, he's got all those little gimmicks, his little crown, his all those Google gimmicks. I think I'd like to see Mr. Lane against Mr. Sturgeon this week.
All right. I got to think of something here. You know what? Let me think here. I think I know the perfect character I might want to play here. Old school character.
All right.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to dress up the part here. Not that. Okay, that. And that. I hope you all remember this old character. You remember the old genius?
Oh yeah, I remember him. I don't know. Maybe those three are they're a shade younger than us. They might not remember the genius.
All right, that's all right. Well, that's Randy Savage's brother, so.
Andy Pop.
Yes. Well, I am the genius, and this week we've had some college graduations. And we shall celebrate those college graduations. And as Mr. Sturgeon from Chicago, they have a college in Chicago or whatever called Northwestern. Northwestern is a college famously known for beating Notre Dame back in 1995 or something like that. I remember Northwestern University, and Northwestern, the genius, has his scroll right here of the boogie board, and I wish those graduates of college the best of luck in their lives, because hopefully they don't get into college debt, because it's a reality of college debt. So that is my genius. That is my genius. Thank you.
Who are you, Lanny Poffo?
I was just trying to do the college graduation type theme. So
All right,
that's what I was trying to do.
very good. I hope we're still on the air because Mr. Justin got booted off.
It says live, but where's Justin? Oh, here he is.
There it
He's
is.
coming back. He was figuring out the numbers for y'all there. So
All right, I'm back, I guess. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Very good.
My computer just completely froze. I don't know what happened, and I just got back in. Okay, I had to like re-download stuff. That was weird. All right, did you guys do Promo Mania? Did I miss it?
well, Sturgeon's got to do his. I just did my genius, Landy Poffo genius. Just doing a promotion for Mr. Sturgeon. I know he's in Chicago. I had to do something related to that. Now, is there a character that John wants to try? What do you want to do, man?
Yeah, I'll be Hogan.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh boy.
You know, I'm gonna go.
Surgeon, whenever you're ready, you could stall or you could start right now.
You know something, Mean Gene? This genius wants to come around flapping his gums and spreading his lips about how Northwestern students do this and do that. But what you gonna do, genius, when all these Northwestern maniacs and I come running wild on you, brother? See you at SummerSlam.
Oh.
Oh, that was good. I like that.
Very good job, Sturgeon.
I can't judge because I didn't see Mr. Lane, so it's gonna be up to Rue on this one.
Well, very close, very similar type promos. I will have to say, though, I have a question for Mr. Lane. Now, as we know, anytime Lanny Poffo, the genius, cut a promo, it was usually in rhyme, in some sort of poem. Let me just take the consensus of the panel here. Should we count that against Mr. Lane? Because every time Genius did cut a promo, it was a poem. Now, I didn't see a poem from Mr. Lane.
I'm not going to hold it against him because I liked him speaking out about college debt.
Well, all right. Well, if that's the case, and if you guys aren't going to make too much of a fuss, I will say Sturgeon did an excellent Hulk Hogan. Mr. Lane, I didn't see too much similarities between your voice and Genius's, but I did appreciate the effort, and I did appreciate the gimmicks. But this week, I think we have to give it to our native of Chicago, or the outskirts of Chicago, Mr. John Sturgeon. Congratulations. You're the winner of Promo Mania this week. Mr. Lane, you've been best.
Thank you.
Good job, both of you guys. Although I missed Mr. Lane's, the genius over there. I do have the final tally for the round one of the Family Feud with a score of 152 to 102. Mr. Zorzi takes the first round crown there.
All right, let me get the round of applause again for Z here. Wait a minute. There it is.
Mr. Z will move on to the championship round of Family Feud next week against either Mr. Rue TV or Mr. Lane Sir. So, if y'all are ready, I'm ready to move on to matchup number 2 here.
I think I'm gonna leave. I'm sorry to disappoint the audience, but I have a very important exam that I have to take at work tomorrow, so I have to hit the books pretty hard. But I'm kind of, if it's okay with the host, I want to do my my final shoot promo that we do before we end the show, like right now, if that's okay.
Go ahead, Z.
Just a thing. Yesterday, I went to the Phillies do a fest here to raise money for ALS. And it's awesome to go and meet the players and get their autographs and take pictures, get memorabilia. But I really feel horrible for the people that are there and suffering from ALS. It breaks my heart to see people with their families there, and they're in a wheelchair and they're in their scooter and they're suffering from such a horrible disease. And the Phillies do a really good job at raising money. They raised over $900,000 yesterday. And for ALS research, and it's a great event, and I had a great time.
Cool. Yeah, it's awesome that you go to that every year. And one of these years, I want to get out there and join you. It seems like a cool event. So.
All right, dudes. Have a great rest of the show, and wish me luck on this test tomorrow.
Good luck, Zorzy. Kill it.
John, good talking to you. The rest of y'all, I'll see you soon.
Good talking to you, man. See ya.
All right, sir.
All right, and now we are back with the Family Feud. Who wants to go first here?
I'll let Rue go first.
Okay, yeah,
I'll disqualify myself. So
All right, make sure you don't watch. You don't watch when you're away. Make sure.
I'll be browsing other things, so I'll disqualify myself.
All right, so hop off the call. There you go. Okay. Okay, later, after. Okay. Drew, are you ready? I have 4 different questions for you here that you're gonna have to give me.
I'm ready. I am ready. I'm ready ready, willing, and able here.
Okay. 25 seconds on the clock, we'll say, because they all were about 25. So I will put 25 seconds on the clock. All right, and go. Name something you associate with British people.
Bad teeth.
Name something parents tell their kids not to waste.
Money.
Tell me something you only do when you're sick.
Eat chicken soup.
All right. What's one thing you would most hate to forget to pack on a trip?
Water.
All right. There you go. And I'm gonna add Mr. Lane back here. That's time. You said water on that one. Okay. Let me get Lane back on here. As we invite Mr. Lane, sir. Mr. Lane. There he is. There he is. Invite him back. See how he does on this Family Feud. Here, John, are you gonna watch Fargo in a little bit? At 10?
Oh, yeah, man. Great show.
I'm pumped for it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it in 20 minutes. So, wait for Mr. Lane. So we got Fargo. Looks like we got a couple of viewers here on the network, on the WWE network. Did you hear McMahon lost $250 million?
Yeah, my God, the stock plunged. Well, they wanted to double their TV rights from $160 million to $320, and they ended up only getting about $200 million per year. So that's only about a 20% jump, you know.
Okay, I'm back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Check one. Testing one.
All right, Mr. Lane, are you ready for your questions here?
Ready there, host. Bring it on.
Mr. Ryan has answered his, and I will give you your 4. So, time is on the clock, and let's begin. Name something you associate with British people.
Soccer.
Okay. Name something parents tell their kids not to waste.
Pass.
Okay. Tell me something you only do when you're sick.
Sleep.
Okay. What's one thing you most hate to forget to pack on a trip? What would you most hate to forget to pack on a trip?
Underwear.
Okay, and
Good answer.
back to this. Name something parents tell their kids not to waste.
Food.
All right. Time. Wow, that was a good. Both of you gave some good answers there. Let's go over this. First question. Name something you associate with British people. Ryan said, well, let's go. The number 1 answer was English accent. That was 44 points. Ryan gave the number 4 answer, which was bad teeth. Mr. Lane said soccer, which was not one of the top 7. The other ones were drinking tea, the royal family, the flag, fish and chips, and a snobby attitude.
Darn.
So, but Ryan only got 10 for that. Next question. Tell me something you only do when you're sick. Mr. Lane said sleep. Number 1 answer was nap, so I will take that as the number 1 answer since it's almost the same word.
Okay.
So he gets the number 1 answer. Ryan said eat soup. That was the number 4 answer with 4 points, so he did get that. The other answers were vomit, take medicine, go home from work, and go to the doctor. So you both got some points there. Name something parents tell their kids not to waste. Number 1 answer was food. Mr. Lane got that one, number 1 answer. Number 2 answer was money, which was Mr. Rue's answer. So, and then followed by water, electricity, waste your time, waste your life. So Mr. Lane got the number 1 there.
Excellent.
What one thing would you most hate to forget to pack on a trip? Mr. Ryan said water. Mr. Lane said underwear. The number one answer on the board was... Wait for it. The number one answer on the board was... There it is. It was clothes, which Mr. Lane said underwear. So he gets the number one answer for 34 points. I'm not even going to add this one up. Mr. Lane wins.
All right. Yes.
Defeats Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
Although you
Yes.
both did have correct answers, Mr. Lane had those number one answers, and that's what's
Yes.
up there.
Yes. Yes.
I challenge.
Yes.
Wait a minute,
Yes.
Mr. Lane.
Yes.
I challenge you to devalue that action figure and open it up on the air.
Oh, you want me to open this Daniel Bryant wrestling thing on the air, buddy?
Right here and now. Open that.
I'm doing it right now, buddy.
Open it now.
I'm doing it right now, right here on the Horsemen Hangout.
Let's see.
Challenging me. Well,
Finish
this was actually a birthday gift from you all, so I thank you
finish
very
the
much.
job, then talk. Finish the job, then talk.
Yeah, so there it is.
All right. There we go.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I got to tell a story to y'all. I was actually in a wedding this past weekend, my friends, and I was in the wedding. And when I came out with my date for the wedding, they played some song, but I actually came out and did the yes chant. I was doing yes, yes, and I was afraid no one was going to understand it besides my one friend who likes wrestling. But as I looked around, I scanned the room. One guy in the corner of the thing sees me do it. He gets up out of his chair and he starts doing yes, yes, yeah. Made the wedding. I was so happy. And then I remember.
That's great.
All right.
Yeah,
One
person got it.
One is Oiza.
One is always right. All right, so it's 9:45 here on the East Coast. About time to be wrapping up the show. If you guys had any topics to talk about, I think we'll send it to our final thoughts. Rue, your final thoughts? Or anything you want to chat about?
My final thought is, well,
Oh man. Well,
Anything left?
I had something that I wanted to show you all, actually, a little bit of a surprise that I had during the show. Justin, you might remember this from 2006 right here. This is the WWE SmackDown ticket that back in '06, this was, I mean, we were talking about a wrestler forfeiting the title. Now, Sturgeon, I'm going to give you a pop quiz there, buddy. Do you remember the wrestler that had to forfeit the title on an episode of SmackDown in Philadelphia? Do you remember who that wrestler was? He's on the roster now. Do you know who it was?
Kurt Angle won it that night, correct?
Yeah.
Correct, in a battle royal. That's correct.
Ah, man, who forfeited it? Jeez. I'm at a loss. Who was it?
It was Batista, by the way. It was Dave Batista that had forfeited the title, and then on this episode of SmackDown, that's when they had the battle royal. So you're 50-50. You were correct.
I knew the same thing. I remembered it was Angle, and I remember the confetti coming down, but I didn't remember Batista.
You were at the show there, man. You don't remember it? Or?
It was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember the Angle, but I don't remember Batista. I remember the Angle thing.
You don't remember? See, because it was all four of us actually.
Wasn't that a Super Show? Wasn't it Raw and SmackDown?
No, it was a SmackDown, but it was on a Tuesday. Let me just double check the ticket here. It was on a Tuesday. It was in January, if y'all could see that. January 10th, 2006.
Yeah.
So it was a SmackDown show. So yeah, it was back in '06. So Sturgeon was partially right. The Chicago native was partially correct on that one. Because Kurt Angle did win the championship that night, because I do remember it. I saw it. We were sitting in the nosebleeds at the time, but I just remember that show. I just thought I'd show you all that ticket because
I remember that night they didn't have a lot of ushers. It was very. Do you remember that, Mr. Lane? Lack of ushers.
Yeah, I think I do remember that too. Yeah, and that was like the second to last time I went to a wrestling event. The only other time that I went to a wrestling event was back in, I think it was 2008, the day after the Royal Rumble when Cena had won it, and that was the last time I ever went to a WWE show. I haven't been to a WWE show in like, about 6 years now. I think it's been 6 years since I've been to a WWE show. So I don't know about you, Sturgeon, or you guys, if you guys have been there for a recent show or not, but
WrestleMania 28. That's my last.
WrestleMania 28 in Miami, I suppose?
Correct.
Okay, got it. I just want to make sure I
If
was...
the rumors are true and Royal Rumble is going to be in Philly this year, you can bet I will be there.
Oh, all right.
But the last wrestling event I went to, I believe I went to not the Tommy Dreamer, the one they ran out of Philly, the hardcore
Extreme Rising?
Extreme Rising, the one that just folded. Yeah, I saw one of their first shows in the ECW arena when it was being remodeled. Not a great show, but it was cool to be back there. But
okay.
All right, Mr. Sturgeon, do you have any final thoughts, or just want to say goodbye?
Yeah, a couple thoughts. If you haven't seen Neighbors yet, go check it out. Hilarious comedy. Zac Efron at his absolute best, and obviously Seth Rogen's funny, Rose Byrne. Then lastly, in a down year for American Idol, they've still managed to produce 2 stars in Caleb Johnson and Gina Irene. Voting's going to be tough tonight, but both those guys are going to go on to excellent careers. I mean, people say The Voice has surpassed Idol. I'd beg to differ. Idol still produces stars. It's been great being on here, guys. I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, John. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I mean, I hear The Voices kills them in ratings, but I heard the Idol, that woman on Idol, and she did have a great voice. You probably wouldn't know, but I think, was it The Voice or the Idol had somebody from South Jersey?
I think it was The Voice that had that lady from, I think, Voorhees, New Jersey, because I did see a little bit of the news reports about that, so I do know a little bit about that, so let me get my
I'm going to throw my 2 cents in there, just a final thought. I saw a trailer. It's about that time you start seeing some cool trailers for some movies, and John, I'm sure he saw this, a movie called Foxcatcher, starring Steve Carell as John DuPont, the millionaire who lost his mind and murdered his wrestling friend, stars Channing Tatum. It looks like it's got Oscar buzz. They're saying Steve Carell might actually win Best Actor for this, which is amazing because, he was Michael Scott in The Office. But I'm really looking forward to that, especially because, here's a little trivia for you. My alma mater, Villanova University, and John's alma mater was originally called the DuPont Pavilion, named after that man, John DuPont. But after he murdered and was convicted and sentenced to 40 years in prison, they pulled the name, and now it's only called the Pavilion. So I'm interested to see that, because the guy lived in near Villanova, lived in Valley Forge. So that movie should be coming out around Thanksgiving. So look forward to that, guys. So anyway, if we have nothing else to talk to, it's 9:51. I wanted to thank our guests. I wanted to thank Mr. Z. Good luck on your test. Mr. Ryan, who got out of here, Mr. Lane, once again, and Mr. Sturgeon, live from Chicago in Central Time Zone. So, everyone, have a good week, and have a good Memorial Day, as I get it Monday off from work. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
All right, now.
Put those 4s up?
Yes, sir.
Right on. I'll see you next week.
Woo!